Well, salutations, kindred spirits. Welcome back to the Magic Cave, where today we're taking a deep dive, a look at one of Magic's classic gaffed packs, a trick deck. I'm talking about the stripper deck, and if you don't know what that is, you're about to. But hey, before we get into that skit, let's take a quick look at what this thing can do. Let's start with an apparent demonstration of skill, but not really. This is a trick deck. Shuffled pack, 52 cards. The skill comes here. I'm going to cut the deck exactly in half. Yeah, exactly in half. Do the math. That's 26. Yeah, 26 on each side, on the left, on the right. Here's how you know. Here's how you can tell. If you put all the red cards on one side, that's 26. All the black side on the other, all the blacks over here. Oh, except I spiced it up a little bit. Yeah, 2 black cards in the red side. That's the 2 black aces. What do you know, Joe? Over here, the 2 red cards in the black side are the 2 red aces. And that is one of the things you can do with a stripper deck. Now, let's break this thing down. Especially if you're looking to convey the illusion of skill, this is what a stripper deck does best. The stripper deck, or a tapered pack as it's commonly known, sometimes called the wizard deck. Yeah, it's a tapered pack, so these cards are not cut like a traditional rectangle. They're cut like a trapezoid, and what this means is when cards are spun in the deck, you can locate them by touch. Now, there's lots of stripper decks on the market. The ones that I carry at Connjure.com are cut from the red bicycle stock at the US Playing Card Company. These will cost you less than 10 bucks on my site or just about anywhere on the internet. And now you know the basic concept. You've seen one trick with the pack. We're going to explore 9 more ideas, and let's get started with that now. All right, let's begin with just some of the more simple concepts. Let's talk about finding a selected card, Stripper Deck 101. All you do is this. You have the card selected, and before it's replaced, you secretly, nonchalantly, reverse the deck 360, and as noted, when the cards are replaced in the deck, you'll be able to locate them by touch and strip them out. Now, sadly, I see way too many students do this. There's your card. They just strip it out right in front of the spectator. No drama, no emotional involvement. They just go, there's your card. If you're going to just strip it out, maybe opt for something like this. Take the deck, maybe say, I'm going to do it without looking behind my back, with touch alone. I found one card. What was your selection? The Ace of Spades. Okay, this doesn't work every time. But it did this time. The Ace of Spades, bringing it home, and now we have a moment that everyone can appreciate a little more. Just don't strip it out. That's, Or maybe this, maybe don't take it out at all. Maybe you use the reversed. Here's an advanced concept. Maybe you use the reversed situation to control the selection to the bottom of the deck. And now we can do other secret things. We could do like glimpse. We could look at it secretly, and now read the mind, which is a better trick than certainly just pulling the card out, Instead of going, there's your card, now the selection's made, and you just start looking them in the eye, and you say, your card was black, a spade, the Ace of Spades, and now you have a psychic moment worth $3.99 a minute. Moving onward, using this step idea, you can also control a quantity of cards, like maybe you do that trick with the 21 card trick. Well, instead of spinning, 2, 3, 4, 5, instead of taking all that time to count them out, preset 20 on top of a reversed card, and now when you're ready to do the 21 card trick, you say, I'm going to need 21 cards for this. You cut at the step, boom, there's your 21, you know what it is, you preset them, and now you got a nice solid start to any routine that uses a quantity of cards. And, right, this is worth noting, so let's note it, that if you take a card and you got your stepped condition ready to go, you can also find that step under a handkerchief, or in this case, a silk. So I'm going to try and cut right at the Ace of Hearts by feel. There it is, and that's that idea. Here's one more along similar lines. The idea with this stepped card concept, say you have the selected card, the Ace of Spades, reversed in the pack. As you encase the deck in a napkin, you want to get that stepped card condition. And the idea here is it can maintain that position, allowing you to take a knife, which is then stabbed into the deck at that step location, and then you get some nice drama, if you practice, you get some nice drama at cutting, literally, right to the selected card. You just, stab it at the step. So with the concept of the tapered deck, you can understand how I did the red-black separation that opened this video. I just had all the black cards or all the red cards reversed. I also used some aces for this effect. You could do this with a selected card, it works well. And the idea here is you just start with a deck that is shuffled, reds and blacks, but they're ready to be separated, and I do this at the corners. So the details here, thumbs, and I'm using my middle fingers at the corners, not the middle, but the corners. And then I rock the deck between my fingers to kind of create a little bit of air in the cards, which will make this separation, there's the separation, it'll make this easier, and the goal here is to make it look like you just cut the deck. Now, when I do this, after I do the separation, I always go back to check for mistakes. So here it is in action. I'll show the deck well mixed. As I say, I cut the deck in half, and then I'll cut each packet. If you're gonna miss them, they're usually at the top or the bottom, so cutting the packets centralizes them. That packet feels good over here. There's a miss. See what I mean? It's in the middle now. When I missed it, it was near the top or the bottom. So if I cut the packet, that will generally centralize your misses, which makes stripping them out easier. And if you have to do that, just put them on the other side. When you feel it's correct, that'll be all the blacks on the one side, all the reds on the other. And as noted, you can mix and match the aces or use a selected card to make this effect even more impressive. And I want to take note of an interesting item I read. I was going through the classic 101. We're only getting about 10 today, but man, there's hundreds more where that came from in outline form in this little gem. I read a little red-black piece that I thought was kind of interesting here. And this is using the stripper deck as a Svengali deck, which is something I've never considered before. But here it is, riffling off the corners. This would probably be more appropriate, I think. You can show the deck is all black, and I have a black card on the face, which is where you want to be. The Svengali deck, the cards are cut shorter at the top, or the bottom, cut shorter at the top, vice versa. But the idea is my thumb's only contacting the long cards on this side. And then what if I put a red card on the face and then riffle them this way? Well, now the deck looks like it's all red cards. Now, how will you use this information, this application? Well, I don't have one. That's going to be up to you. Now, beyond the red-black separation, you might consider other multiple productions. Here's one that I read from this same book, and for this trick, you need a few magic words, and those magic words are all rise. Yeah, you have to say all rise because court is in session. And then you get all the court cards out of the deck. So, same idea, you just take a quantity of cards, maybe it's the court cards, maybe it's a run of like all the heart cards in the deck, something you need for a subsequent effect, and then you produce that quantity of cards as well. All rise! And while this piece has a similar mechanics, the effect is changed when you suggest that you were approached by a spectator who shuffled your deck face up and face down in an attempt to mess up your magic tricks, and they said, "Here, magician, do a trick with me from this deck now." And you said, "Well, if I'm gonna do that, my first trick has to be to fix the mess you made." And you can do this trick just by reversing the face-up cards and following the red-black procedure, but changing the presentation changes the dynamic, and this makes this a new experience for your spectator. And if you want to be super sneaky, you can use this technique to cut into a secret setup. So in this instance, I'm going to apparently cut the deck in half and offer it to my spectators to continue. And what I do is cut all the even value cards. There's all the even cards. Yep, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And all the odd cards are over here. But I don't show this to my spectator. I continue with this secret information. Maybe I have a card moved from here to here, and now I know that the even card's in the odd pile. And this is how you can use the stripper deck to set up a further effect with a secret condition. All right, the last two items I'm going to show you are killer and easy, but before we get there, let me touch base on using some skill along with the stripper deck. So maybe I'm going to use the stripper deck to secretly control, and maybe my audience has shuffled the deck before this happens. I control the 4 aces to the top of the pack. But then what? Do I just say, here's 4 aces? Well, you could do that, but what if you use some of the skills you possess? And I don't know what you possess, but I know how to do the Pharaoh shuffle, and I know if I do a couple of these, every 4th card is now going to be an ace, and now I can convey the illusion of not just being able to control the 4 aces, but also to deal them to myself or to my friend in a 4-handed poker game. So yeah, moving forward, consider using some of your advanced skills with this as well. Well, if you made it this far, congratulations. Here's a great trick. It uses 2 selected cards. We're going to assume the queen and the ace are the cards in question. Shuffle the deck if you want. When you're ready to be magical, take the deck behind your pack. As you claim you're going to find the cards by touch alone. I think I have the first one. There it is. Lo and behold, the Queen of Hearts. Now, to the laity, this is an impressive moment. That card goes into the table. You can shuffle again before you find the second card. Here it comes. No look, Doug. We got it. I feel the... Wait a minute. That was the... What was your card? The second one was the ace. Oh, that's a time saver. That's the second one. And that is a killer 2-card revelation transposition. And let's talk about how you can do that now. So, of course, both cards are reversed as they go back into the pack. You want to spin them around. This will allow you to find the cards just by running. If you just strip them out, that's done behind your back. And you strip them out, turn them face up onto the top of the pack. And that will be your first revelation. Boom, I found the first one. Now here we're going to do a double lift, which is normally a sleight of hand move, but because the cards are tapered, look, when I reach at the inner ends, I'm automatically going to pick up 2 because they're reversed. So when I just lift, 2 cards come up. Now they just see the face up Queen of Hearts. What I do is just turn it over from the corner actually. I just lift right there. There's a couple ways you can handle this. Experiment, find what works for you, but turn them over, turn the double over, and then just deal the top card to the table or in your spectator's hand or something. Now the other card's on top, reveal it as you see fit. I think it's nice to kind of, replicate the previous actions. I just go behind my back and turn over the top card as I come up and feign surprise. I'm like, wasn't that the... And then they turn over this card. Everyone freaks out, and they will on this one, trust me. And that's a killer 2-card transposition. And lastly, when I was researching material for this video, I recalled a piece from John Rockerbomber's Card Fixes. John Rockerbomber, wonderful friend and a great mentor to me in life. And Card Fixes, one of my all-time favorite Rockerbomber books. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. This item is Late Night Arising, which John describes as a combination of Alex Elmsley's late night location combined with Nick Naburko's clever use of Jack McMillan's plunger principle. So Nick Naburko applied the stripper deck to the plunger principle. What does all this mean? Well, let's walk through it, Doug. Let's walk through it. Here. So you have 2 reversed cards. I'm gonna suggest this is a good follow-up to the trick I just discussed, the 2-card transposition with the 2 reversed cards. We'll leave those cards reversed. Put one on top and one on the bottom. Alternatively, just preset any 2 cards reversed there, but this is maybe a good follow-up to the other trick. Have a card freely selected from the center of the deck, and as you do this, when the card is selected, and let's just work with this one here, Jack of Clubs, as it's selected, break the spread, and then offer the top half for the selection to be returned, and then the bottom half goes on top of that. What this does is cleverly sandwich the selected card between the 2 cards that are reversed and ready to be stripped in the pack, in this case, the Queen and the Ace. We're going to do that. We're going to strip those 2 cards down, and that happens as we place the deck into a handkerchief. So exposed, I'm just going to do this, but it's going to happen behind the handkerchief. And I'm just going to roll from this position as I continue to explain. You're going to want to encase the deck with the handkerchief. This is not in my active repertoire, so I'm just fudging through this thing, but the modus operandi here is going to be your pinky at the bottom of the handkerchief, and what it's going to do is push up, maybe give a little motion, and this will create the illusion that that card has risen from an encased handkerchief right from the center of the deck, and that is the plunger principle, Nick Naburko's application with the stripper deck. And hey, if you really want to go crazy with it, get that Rockerbomber book and check out the Alex Elmsley late night location. Wow, that was a mouthful. All right, that's your 10 applications, tricks, concepts with a stripper deck. Hope you found something to appease your gray matter, or maybe even better, add to your repertoire. And hey, if you need one of these things, I'm waiting for you over at Connjure.com. I got a great beginner's line as well as some nice selections for the advanced practitioner. So a little capitalism, a little magic capitalism helps the pieces of the puzzle that makes this heart beat, and I thank you for that. Heck, I thank you for everything, the time, the attention, the energy, and I guess that's going to bring us to a wrap on this one, and that'll be ciao for now.